Hey there, how you doing? Charlie Winters here with horse racing tips and football selections for Saturday, the 23rd of November. Well, it was a losing day the other day. I don't know what day it was. What was it? Friday today? Thursday. Might have been Thursday. Um, the last winner won at 14 to 1, Showtime Mahomes. However, the rest of them were disappointing up to that. Showtime Mahomes won relatively comfortable 14 to 1. Don't think I tipped to that. I think it was shorter, but doesn't make any difference to me because it was a losing day. So, Saturday, I was getting my hopes up for Saturday. It's just there's a few things about Saturday that have left me feeling a little bit, don't know if the word's despondent, but a bit disappointed. So let me get into it. So I've made a pig's ear of it already. Um, I wanted to put a bet on at each meeting and then join the really fancy ones up to make a bit of a stronger selection bet. But in the end, I'm in two minds about a lot of things. I'm going to talk you through the bets anyway. I've staked, there's 18p left in my account, so that means I've staked £24.82p. So here goes. So the football selections, they will be in the description come 10 a.m. Saturday morning. So let me give you the horse racing selections now for Saturday. So this bet is a 5 pence each way, lucky 63. I'm pretty sure recently what I've said is I do believe there will be some kind of decent sized accumulator. Well, I looked for a number of I looked at quite a lot of these races Thursday night, and I noticed a bit of a pattern where Harry Cobden had got quite a few decent rides. Well, last year, poor Nichols, I think he either had a treble or it was a four timer. Well, I'm not massively convinced about poor Nichols, although I do believe a couple of these are his. But I basically backed Harry Cobden. I do believe he's not on all of them, but I do like the look of these. So I'm basically going to read these out because these are like it's a Harry Cobden bet. So the first selection is 2k in the 12.25. So it's a 5 pence each way, lucky 63. The first selection is 2k in the 12.25 at Ascot. The second selection is Ma Belle Noire in the 12.55 at Ascot. That one's trained by Harry Fry, ridden by Harry Cobden. The third selection is Kitty's Light in the 2 at Ascot, paying four places instead of three. This horse, it probably speaks volumes, the fact that you tend to know when it's kind of being aimed at the race, and you tend to find out via the odds when it isn't being aimed at the race. So every time it comes unplaced, pretty much, it appears to do so at a huge price. When it's favourite or a relatively short price, and I mean short prices in probably 6 to 1 and under, you can pretty much guess it's being aimed at the race. Well, when this horse is being aimed at a big race, it very rarely, in my opinion, delivers. Fails to deliver. Sorry. So Kitty's Light, it's about 5 to 1, I think it is, in the 2 at Ascot, paying four places instead of three. Basically, you need to look at the prize money and whether the name national after it, and you'll know that this horse has normally got a decent chance. But anyway, yeah, that's rambling on. Kitty's Light, I think tomorrow. I know Flat Cat Callum mentioned, and I'm not sure what he was referring to at the time, but he did mention that for Kitty's Light to get in a particular race, I'm not sure which, he said it would need to win. Well, I know when he tipped it, it didn't come anywhere that day, but it was a much bigger price and he backed it each way. Well, this time it's a much shorter price, and I do think it's got a chance anyway in the race. Not quite sure what race he thought they were aiming for. I don't think it was. They might be going to the national, but I don't think it was referring to the national. But at 5 to 1, based on how the trainer tends to place his horses and the odds that they are reflected during the race when it is, let's call it trying, which is a bad word to use. I think tomorrow is supposedly one of the days where it's fancied. Let's put it that way. The fourth selection is Blue King Doro in the 2.45 at Ascot. The next selection is one I like the look of is Sans Brute at 4-1 in the 320 Ascot, paying 4 places instead of 3. The reason why I've took the price is because if it is turned into a Harry Cobden festival, then it's going to be pretty much like a Frankie Dettori kind of accumulator. So it's worth taking the prices towards the back end of the day. It's worth taking them now because obviously they won't be that price. For Harry Cobden to have a 6-time or whatever is probably extremely unlikely. And it's probably not going to happen. It's just that I wanted a wide range of bets. I wanted to put my feet up and watch the racing, and this is what I've decided to do. If you follow me in, you follow me in. If you don't, you don't. So yeah, so Salisbury, and then the final one is Springale at 9-2 in the 350 at Ascot. There's a good chance that these prices might drift massively, but as you can see, I've took the last two and left the rest to SP. Right. A 5 pence each way, lucky 15. So the first selection is Punta del Este at 8-1 in the 115 at Haydock. That's one of their money back specials, which I can't stand, to be fair. I wish it were an extra place race, but it isn't. It's Dan Skelton, and the reason why I've gone for this horse, like a few in the race, like a few in this bet, it absolutely loves dreadful ground. And I meant to mention at the beginning of the video, it's given out rain from 3 a.m. at Haydock till basically 12 hours. And I think it's currently good to soft. I think the ground will be absolutely dreadful. And I love it at Haydock because normally I like to go for horses, mudlarks that front run. Unfortunately, I couldn't get in any single race. I couldn't get a front runner that I absolutely like off front running outside that I could like the look of. So Punta del Este, it tends to be held up, loves atrocious ground, and the Skeltons are in cracking form. And speaking of a big price, a big priced accumulator. Keep an eye on the Skeltons tomorrow because I fully expect them to have a really good day. It's just that I looked at the horses, I couldn't quite put enough of them in a bet, although I have had a number of the Skelton selections, and I'm going to mention two in particular, and those two are my basically strong fancied each way, and I shall tell you why, because they both ran on the same day at Ascot not too long ago. So the second selection is Back Me or Sack Me at 12-1 in the 230 at Haydock, paying 5 places instead of 4. Emmett Mullins won this race last year. I think this one's got a decent chance because I think it's been messed around with over hurdles. It basically relatively recent runs. It's ran at Worcester and it's ran at Southwell over I think 2.5 mile. I think it's 3 mile tomorrow, but it's also been running over 2 mile. Not that well on the flat. I believe, and as I said before, horses generally, in my opinion, that run around 2 miles on the flat will want much further over hurdles, at least 2.5 mile. And I think the 2.5 mile at Southwell and Worcester was too quick for it. Things were happening too quick. So I believe that this 3 mile, which I'm sure it is tomorrow, this 3 mile is more to this horse's liking. And I think because it's been run over distances and courses that are inadequate, I think it's well handicapped. And I think it's quite interesting that Emmett Mullins and Willie Mullins came first and second in this race last year. The third selection is Gold Tweet at 12-1 in the 3 at Haydock in the Betfair Chase, paying 4 places instead of 3. So I'll tell you why I like this one. I like it because I was going through the form of the horses, as you do, and I was looking for horses that love atrocious ground. Well, you might even get 1 or 2 non-runners in this race because I'm not convinced Hewick wants a mud bath. And some of the others, there's so many that are good ground performers that aren't proven on absolutely dreadful ground, and I expect it to be not very nice. Let's put it that way, because I'm guessing Haydock might have had a little bit of snow. I'm not quite sure because I haven't checked, but it's currently good to soft. But like I said, they've got 12 hours worth of rain, and I know during the night there's supposed to be quite a lot. When Haydock gets very wet, it becomes very slow or very testing. So the fourth selection is Credo or Credo at 7-1 in the 340 at Haydock, paying 4 places instead of 3. Anthony Honeyball, I think it's got a decent chance, and it's fit, unlike quite a few of them in the race. So then I've also had a 25 pence each way, fourfold. And then this bet is, so this is the interesting bet. This is a 7 pence each way, lucky 63. So the first selection I've had already, is Punta del Este in the 115 at Haydock. And as I will say again, a money back special. Grrr. The second selection is an interesting one, but it could be a frustrating one. Guess how many runners there are in the race? There is 5. I think this horse has got a right chance in this race. There's so many question marks over the fancied horses. I do believe the second and third favourites haven't ran so far this season. The favourite is a first-time wind operation by Paul Nicholls. Paul Nicholls, I know I backed some of his horses for Saturday, but I think it's 1-2. It's had a first-time wind operation, and his horses, I think, are still to hit top form. I think he's been knocking in the odd winner, but I think closer to Christmas it'll be relentless, or just Boxing Day time. So I think there's question marks over the front 3. Unfortunately, I can pretty much guarantee now you're going to see a non-runner in this race, and it's going to make it to win only. So that's the risk I'm taking. So Phlegmatic at 33-1 in the 130 at Ascot. If all 5 runners take part, I think this horse has got a right chance of coming the first 2. The third selection is Gold Tweet. Once again, I've added it because I like the look of it, and it's a French runner, and it absolutely loves dreadful ground. That's Gold Tweet in the 5-3 at Haydock in the Betfair Chase, paying 4 places instead of 3. The next selection, I didn't see this till last off. I nearly didn't even have it. So the last time these 2 horses ran, Phlegmatic and Frere Darton, or whatever you want to call it, those 2 horses were given the exact same ride and also never put in the race. And I thought to myself, these 2 horses are being aimed at another meeting. And these 2 horses are Ascot specialists. So I think, what, are they going for this race? Is Saturday the day? Or is it going to be another day with the Ascot meeting? I don't know, but I find it very interesting that both of them are running again on the same day. So Fred 11-1 in the 320 Ascot, paying 4 places instead of 3. The next selection, I do like the look of. Well, I like the look of all of them. I find it very interesting because I actually saw this horse run. I can't remember where it was. It was at Chelmsford, and I watched the race. And this horse, it started a shorter price favourite, nothing like 6-4 or anything like that, but it returned 4-1. I think it was always about 3s or 7-2, and for a very I like this trainer. It's Simon Crisford, and for a very what's the word? For a very good trainer, I was surprised that this horse's price wasn't shorter on its reappearance at Chelmsford. I'm personally thinking that horse, there was something not right with it that day, and I don't mean anything untoward. I think that horse was something like look burly in the paddock or something. There was something that was keeping its price bloated, because I think it should have been shorter that day. And basically, it was up there, stayed on, and just ran not a flat race, just a one pace race. I thought it was never really travelling brilliantly, and then it didn't really fade away. So I'm thinking that this horse, I think it's drawn 1. I do think it's got a decent chance, and I don't think Crisford will be taking it all the way to Newcastle for nothing. I am a fan of the colours and the trainer. And once again, Credo in the 340 at Haydock, paying 4 places instead of 3. So as you can see, I've had several of these horses again. So I was getting this wrapped around my neck. So you can see the horses that I like the look of. Decide what you want to do with them. So this one's a 5 pence each way, look 15. So this is how the day started for me. I looked at horses at the same meeting that I thought had a chance, and I thought I'd skip to another meeting. But then I only selected 4 horses because at the time I only really fancied 4 horses at this meeting. And then I attempted to skip to another meeting, and I was just getting. I don't know. I don't know if I'm just tired or what, but 5p each way, lucky 15. I've left the prices, and I do believe I would have another 5p each way, taking the prices, and I'll talk you through that in a minute. So it's Punta del Este at in the 115 at Haydock, Back Me or Sack Me in the 230 at Haydock, Gold Tweed in the 3 at Haydock, and Credo in the 340 at Haydock. Right. I do believe this one is right. This is probably an interesting one. Let me just let me just confirm that. That is just hang on. Yeah, so that other bet further down is just a second part of that. As you can see, I've had a 5p each way, look 15, taking the prices, and there are the horses. So basically, it's a 10p each way, look 15, but split into two. One 5p each way, taking the prices, 5p each way, leaving the prices. So as you can see, there's the bet where I left the prices. So this is the final bet. So it's a 10p each way, lucky 31. This phlegmatic needs 5 runners. So phlegmatic, I've left the price in the 130 at Ascot. It's currently 33 to 1. Second selection is Cakewalk at 13 to 2 in the 33 at Newcastle, paying 4 places instead of 3. So this is a kind of an outsider bet. Two Fan in the 455 at Wolverhampton, paying 4 places instead of 3. That Two Fan, it's been messed around with. It's had more trainers. I don't think it even knows where its home is. I think it's had 5 different trainers. As you can see, it's Ammo Racing. I think it started off with Roger Varian. I think it went to Paul Cole. Look at this from memory. Went to Paul Cole. It went to Dominic French Davis, and now it's at what's his name? Ferreira Rocher, where his name is. Rafael Ferreira. So yeah, it's there now. David Probert rode it last time, which was a bit back, and he takes the ride again. So I think it's quite interesting. One horse I do like the look of, and I can't give this as my nap. Surely it's only rated. It's only rated 30. It's only rated 36. I'm sure it is. So it can't be me now, but I like the look of it. So basically, this is a dreadful race, but I like the look of it because there's a first-time visor on it. It ran its best race last time. It's got James Sullivan on board, who I do like, although he rode a bit of a stinker for me the other day on the 50 to 1 that actually ran a decent race. So it's Mr. Coco Fizz in the 555 at Wolverhampton, paying 4 places instead of 3. And these are colours that Robert Cowell does okay with. So I do think it's an interesting selection, and it's an absolutely dreadful race. I'll be honest. The fancied horses are not much better than this, in my opinion. The next selection is McManaman in the 655 at Wolverhampton, paying 4 places instead of 3. This horse, this horse, it was part owned by Gary Allsop. I don't know him. Gary Allsop and somebody else. So it is now owned by just Gary Allsop. But when they both had it together, it was running mainly Maidan. Or Maiden? Maidan. So now it's come over here, and it's actually ran interesting. It ran at Chester and ran okay, beaten 5 lengths, which is comfortable. It then had a break and reappeared. I can't remember where it was at, but it was on heavy ground. It ran an absolute stinker, which is fine by me because it brings its handicap mark down. Its most recent run was much more encouraging, and I'm hoping if it's come on again, this horse, it was rated quite highly at one point. Don't get me wrong, it's not plummeted, but it's getting to a handicap mark where, in my opinion, it can be dangerous. So those are all the selections for Saturday. If there's above a tenner back, I shall be having a bet on Sunday. If there isn't, it'll be a free bet Monday. So please do me a favour from this dreadful video. If you can give me a like, you can subscribe if you want to. Completely up to you. So I wish you the very best of luck. Thanks for all the comments. Let me know what you're backing. Let me know if you agree with me, or let me know if I've got an issue. Anyway, I wish you the very best of luck. Charlie Winters, over and out. Cheers, mate.